Shalom. Welcome to Challenging Torah, a project of the Malibu Jewish Center and Synagogue. This week's portion, Bechukotai, is really a continuation of last week's portion, Bahar. Often they are read together, except in a year like this year, which is a leap year. Same story, which is entitled, What Happens When You Don't Follow the Rules? So, I have a question for you. Is it hot enough? Those of you who are watching this and are members of this synagogue here in Malibu know that this has been an amazingly hot week. We've broken 2 all-time records in the last 3 days. I got out of my car in Santa Monica and it was 111 degrees yesterday afternoon. What does it take, God says, to actually get your attention? Well, maybe what it took was that in the middle of this week, I think around Tuesday, I opened up my New York Times, and there on the front page of the New York Times was the lead story. The headline, "The Western Antarctic Ice Shelf is irrevocably, that's irrevocably damaged, cannot recover, and will continue to melt, no matter what we do." And so our actions can only now affect the pace, but not the inevitability, of this ice shelf totally shifting the climate and the ocean levels. And we go, well, you know what? That's in Antarctica, and I'm living here, and what difference does it make? Oops, it's the same ocean. And not only that, as we look at it, the prediction is that by the end of this century, water levels could rise anywhere from 3 to 10 feet, which means, Santa Monica kind of begins at 14th Street. And Broad Beach, forget your bought sand. We'll be lucky. The synagogue will have a very nice walk into the ocean, I'm sure, for our Shabbat on the beach. No fences needed. Yes, it's real. And our attention is finally there. But we go, well, wait a minute. What's natural and what's man-made and what's my responsibility? Last week, God said, you must give the land a Shabbat. Give it a rest. We work on cycles. The cycle is 6 and a rest, and then 6 and a rest. Just like we breathe in, we have to breathe out. You rest, the land rests. This is the key principle that the entire Torah of how do you deal with your land is based on. Hence, last week, it's Bahar Sinai, and it's called Bahar. It's as important as honor your father and mother. If you follow my laws, God says, and faithfully observe my commandments, I will grant you rain in your season, so that the earth will yield its produce. There will be fruit in your field. You will eat your fill and dwell in the land in security. Sounds good. I have to just follow these small rules, like let my land go fallow, like take care of the widow, the orphan, and the stranger, like not be greedy. What's brilliant is that the Torah really understood that what we call Yetzer Hara, that evil inclination that says, enough is good, more, even better. That we keep working the land or working our employees or working ourselves without any rest. And God then, in this Torah portion, says, but if you do not obey me, I will break your proud glory, and I will make your skies like iron and your earth like copper, so that your strength will be spent for no purpose. The downward spiral will begin. Your Antarctic Western ice shelf will crack. And as it cracks and climate change begins to take place, your lack of ability to stop and take responsibility will then spin it into an ever-devolving place. Until eventually, the land will destroy you. It will vomit you out, God says. The land will be forsaken, making up for its Sabbath year by becoming desolate, while the land restores itself and you atone for your iniquity. Sounds pretty punishing, except that clearly we participate in this as well. I used to read these curses read at the end, which would say things like, you will be in your enemy's nation and you will be so afraid of your shadow that you will scatter like a driven leaf. You will be reduced to cannibalism finally at the end of this portion, and you will be kicked from your land. And then God says, but I didn't forget. I will take you back. You will always be my people, because I will remember the promise that I made to the ancient ones, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am your God. But I, as God, have a very long view of how things happen. For me, a 2,000-year cycle, a 6,000-year cycle, is just the way the world breathes in and out. 6,000 and then 1,000 years till you recover. 6,000, then 1,000 years till you recover. And I only have my lifetime. So we're left at the end of this entire book, actually, of Leviticus, asking ourselves, what can we do to heal our earth? What can we do to bring our earth back to balance? What can we do to bring ourselves back to balance so that we are truly a holy nation in a holy place? And holiness in the end means balance your needs, balance your desire to help yourself versus the desire to help or hurt others. Holiness means I walk as partner with God. May it be so. Shabbat Shalom.